Hi, I'm Steve Endo, and this is a quick rundown of some Business Central updates as of late April. Let's get started. First off, the big news this month is that Business Central 2020 Wave 1 is being deployed in production. So you're going from version 15.4 to version 16.0. And this deployment is continuing through June 25th, 2020 to give organizations extra time to schedule the upgrade when convenient. If you haven't yet gone into your BC admin page to choose a date for your upgrade, make sure to do so. Choose a date that's convenient so that you can know when your upgrade is going to occur. So what's new in this 2020 Wave 1 update? You can check out this URL on Microsoft Docs to read more about the specific features that are going to be rolling out in this release. And you can also see additional features that are planned for future releases through 2020. And if you're not following the MSDine365BC Twitter handle, I would recommend that. You'll learn about new features and the rollout of the new releases. If you are familiar with Eric Hugard, you should know that he has his field guide book. And I mention this because he has updated his book with the new features and functionality for Business Central 2020 Wave 1. If you have a physical copy of the book, unfortunately, you won't see those updates. But if you've purchased the electronic copy, one nice thing is that you will get an email notification when the book has been updated. So I received an email a week or two ago with information about the new release and the new features for 2020 Wave 1. So all I need to do is download the new version. So that is one benefit of the electronic version, even though I do typically like physical books. And recently, Areopa hosted a webinar with what's new in 2020 Wave 1 functionality. This particular webinar is focused on technical updates and developer updates. New technical features, new development tools, things like that. So if you are into Business Central development, AL development, this will be of interest to you. And it was hosted by Luke, and the presenters were Waldo and AJ Kaufman. So great presentation if you're interested in the technical topics. And here is a neat blog post by Roberto Stefanetti. I use two-factor authentication for my Microsoft logins, Azure, Office 365, but I had not yet enabled it for Business Central. I don't even think I was aware of it being available until I saw a post by Roberto on how to set it up. This was also publicized by some of the Microsoft folks on Twitter, but Roberto's blog post steps you through the process and provides you with those step-by-step instructions for enabling two-factor authentication with Business Central. So great article, check it out, and enable 2FA to improve security for your Business Central tenant. Another big addition to Business Central recently is the addition of App Insights telemetry. And hopefully you follow Kenny on Twitter. He has been tweeting about this over the last month plus, actually since February there. So definitely check out App Insights if you want more information about how your Business Central tenant is doing, any potential performance issues. You can monitor certain out-of-the-box metrics, and I believe if you are doing AL development, you can add additional App Insights telemetry to your environment or your app or extension for Business Central. And I show two links here. One is for the documentation, that's aka.ms/BC telemetry, and another are some samples of how you can use App Insights, and that's aka.ms/BC telemetry samples. And here's a nice blog post about some updates to the BC Admin Center. I hadn't heard about this anywhere else, but Alistair Rumau, hope I pronounced that right, he has a great blog post pointing out some of the differences with the new BC Admin Center. I believe those releases come out with V16. So definitely check out this blog post to see how you can better utilize BC Admin Center, some new fields, some new features. That is one area of Business Central that is not often publicized, BC Admin Center. So definitely check that out, and there's some nice new features to help you manage and administer your Business Central tenants and environments. And if you're into learning, Microsoft Learn is the new consolidated repository for all of Microsoft's online learning and online courses. They now have 23 Business Central courses as of the end of April, and 7 of those are focused on development. So if you're interested in learning Business Central development, AL development, definitely check those out. And you can access that through the aka.ms/bclearn URL. And once you're on the Microsoft Learn website, you will want to make sure you are filtered for Business Central courses. And you can also further filter for developer courses if you're interested in only the 7 development courses that are available. So definitely check those out. 23 Business Central courses in total, so hours of content for online learning. And speaking of learning, if you're interested in Business Central development training, here are 2 resources that I've been working with. One is the AL for Beginners workbook by Chris. And that is a free workbook that he has offered on GitHub. It's a PDF you can download. It's about 100 pages, I believe. And it steps you through the entire process of getting started with a new Business Central sandbox environment, getting Visual Studio Code set up, creating your first AL development project, publishing it, working with GitHub and Azure DevOps. So definitely check that out if you're new to Business Central development and want to learn about AL programming. If you're more interested in more of a typical classroom-led training course, I do recommend the online training by AJ Kaufman. I've been taking that the last couple weeks, and he starts you through the process from scratch. Again, setting up Docker environments, setting up your first AL development project in VS Code, and then moving on to more advanced topics in that online classroom training. So that's an excellent resource as well. And if you are using Docker to host Business Central containers, this is something that you might run into. So after you start using Docker and start updating your images to create new containers, you may see that some of your images have a tag value of none. And this happens as the Docker images get updated, the old ones get orphaned. So here is a command that you can use to clean up those old Docker images. This one was offered to me by Tobias Fenster on Twitter, but it's come up in a couple other discussions both on Twitter and on forum posts. So you can use this simple command. It quickly cleans up those orphaned images, saves you a ton of disk space, and doesn't seem to be any risk to using this. It just does a great job of cleaning things up. If you're interested in more Business Central resources, many of the links I've referenced in this presentation and many, many others are on my blog post, and that is bit.ly/BC resources. As of the end of April now, I have 163 different links, everything from Microsoft resources, YouTube videos, conferences, Twitter accounts, and blog posts. So definitely check that out if you're looking for more information regarding Business Central. Well, I hope you found this useful. Feel free to also follow me on Twitter @SteveEndo and check out my blog at blog.stevendo.com.